what do you think? What should its new strategy be as this smartphone market is maturing?
I think it's fair to say that obviously Samsung has had its day in the sun, competing as it has with the likes of HTC and of course Apple. I think there's probably two main concerns at the moment. Firstly is the proliferation of cheaper handsets which are coming out, in particular in the Chinese market, which of course at that lower end, given the sheer volume of people we're talking about, isn't necessarily Samsung's forte. And with that in mind, and leading on to the second concern at the moment, as far as I understand, around 2/3 of Samsung's profits are still coming from the smartphone area.
Is it over-reliant on that division?
So clearly the other 1/3, I mean, we know about Samsung's other electrical products, of course, but clearly that's where they need to see some specific growth, because the handset mobile business in general is getting particularly cutthroat now.
All right, bear with me, Richard. Just want to go through some other stories. I want to get your comment on those. Lots of news from the retail sector as well. Marks & Spencer's underlying non-food sales fell a 12th straight quarter, hurt by its move into a new online service. Sales of items including clothing, foot and homeware at stores open for more than a year fell 1.5% in its fiscal Q1. However, the British retailer is sticking to its full-year guidance. Carrefour is quitting India, the French retail giant shutting down operations there as part of its wider strategy to exit underperforming markets to focus on reviving its French business. The news comes after Walmart last year called off its Indian partnership and shelved plans to open retail stores there. Plus, Air France KLM slashing its profit outlook. Profits this year could be as much as 12% lower than previously thought. The French-Dutch carrier joins other airlines in saying they're facing weakness due to overcapacity. So let's get back to Richard. Richard, want to get your take on Marks & Spencer's to start with. Online looks pretty poor, right?
It does, and they did flag at the full-year results in May that they had some problems on the £150 million revamp. They also said at that time that it would take 4 to 6 months to settle down, to use the chief exec's words, and of course that's clearly not happening at the moment. Unfortunately, there's no real new news in the M&S update today. It's still a question of relying on the food part of the business, which continues to be strong, having half an eye on some kind of international expansion where they've got footholds in the likes of China and India. And to be fair to them, they did call the top of the investment cycle back at the full-year results. Nonetheless, it's quite apparent, if you compare their online business, for example, with that of Next, that their streets ahead at the moment. It remains a work in progress, and it's arguable whether investors have got the patience to wait for that turnaround.